The streets of Ghaziabad's Khoda colony are under total lockdown. Yellow police barricades now cut off the main thoroughfares, enforcing a physical barrier between the neighborhood and the city outside. Inside those barriers, the atmosphere is volatile. Protesters and Hindu organizations have occupied the streets, staging demonstrations to demand immediate retribution for a crime that has paralyzed the local community. The center of this standoff is the home of Surya Chauhan, a 17-year-old Class 11 student. Following his death in a brutal stabbing, his family placed his body in a deep freezer, refusing to perform his final rites until their conditions were met. Surya's mother made her position clear to the gathered officials. She would not cremate her son until the police killed the main suspect in an encounter and initiated bulldozer action against the homes of everyone involved. It is an extreme set of demands, born from a sequence of events that began with a simple invitation on a festival day, only to end in a premeditated killing that pushed this neighborhood to the edge of violence. This wasn't a random street crime, it was a localized flashpoint. A long simmering dispute between neighbors escalated so rapidly that the grieving family and their supporters eventually abandoned the standard legal process in favor of a demand for instant extrajudicial justice. To find the motive, investigators looked past the religious holiday and into the specific history between Surya Chauhan and the primary suspect, a local youth named Asad. 8 months before the stabbing, the two former friends had a falling out over riding a motorcycle. That dispute escalated into a physical fight, marking the end of their friendship and the beginning of a sustained rivalry. Following that brawl, Asad's family sold their house and moved to a different lane. Despite the move, Asad was frequently seen returning to Surya Street, often lingering near his former home. While local residents had stepped in to broker a truce between the boys months earlier, the police investigation suggests that the underlying hostility remained active beneath the surface of that agreement. That motorcycle dispute provided the motive. All that was missing was an opportunity to act on it. That opportunity arrived on the morning of Bakrid. A neighborhood youth reached out to Surya, inviting him to meet up under the guise of an Eid celebration. Surya agreed, heading toward the meeting spot in Navneet Vihar with 2 of his friends, assuming it was a routine holiday visit. But the invitation was a decoy. Asad and his associates were waiting at the location, blocking the lane. Witnesses recount a chilling exchange. Asad reportedly asked Surya if he had ever seen a goat being slaughtered. When Surya replied no, the mood shifted instantly. Asad told him, "Come, we will show you," and the group immediately attacked. Surya desperately tried to run. He was chased for nearly 200 meters through a labyrinth of narrow alleys, before he was cornered and stabbed 4 times in the abdomen. By using a festival invitation as a lure, the attackers executed a calculated ambush in the middle of a crowded neighborhood, turning a cultural celebration into a premeditated trap. Surya was rushed to a private hospital in Noida, but succumbed to his injuries the following day. As news of his death spread, the tension in Khoda colony reached a breaking point. Local anger surged further when residents discovered a bag of meat dumped outside the victim's house shortly after his death, an act that residents saw as a direct provocation, leading to the massive protests and the family's refusal to cremate the body. Faced with a potential riot, the police registered a case against 5 people. 3 were arrested almost immediately, but the primary suspect remained at large. With Asad absconding, police announced a 50,000 rupee bounty on his whereabouts, mobilizing tactical units to track him down before the neighborhood's ultimatum expired. The pressure for an immediate result was high. As long as Asad remained free, the neighborhood remained on the verge of a violent confrontation with authorities. The search ended late Saturday night. Police received intelligence that Asad was attempting to collect cash from local associates to fund his escape. Joint teams from the Khoda and Indirapuram stations established checkpoints throughout the sector. In the early hours of Sunday morning, they spotted Asad and an accomplice arriving on a motorcycle. When the police moved to intercept, the situation turned lethal. Asad allegedly opened fire on the officers, wounding a constable in the exchange. The police returned fire in self-defense. Asad was struck during the shootout and was later declared dead after being transported to the hospital. The encounter provided the specific resolution Surya's mother had demanded, and the streets were eventually cleared. But the case stands as a stark example of how an 8-month-old dispute over a motorcycle could end with 2 teenagers dead, one in an alleyway and the other in a police shootout.